Welcome to the show, Joe and Nolan.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. The first line of the video is I spent a whole day watching class of 2036 Hoopers.
I just watched the two best first grade AAU teams in the country go head to head for a championship.
And
It's
it
a
just
great hook.
absolutely blew up. We were like, what are the odds Kanye actually comes? Because we just had heard. It was one of those things where you just hear people saying like Kanye's coming.
Kanye West was actually in attendance.
Really? I mean, these are
yeah.
huge pages. I think you guys have 2.7 million on TikTok, over 500K on Instagram. That's not an easy task.
Our sub that was gonna fill in for every team, he was like, I have this family gathering thing, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Welcome back to the Beyond the Spotlight podcast hosted by myself. My name is Jack.
And I'm Aiden.
Today we have Joe and Nolan from Strictly Bball with us. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Appreciate you guys having us.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate
Awesome.
it. Glad to be here.
Okay, I got an intro for you guys. Today's guests are the masterminds behind one of the fastest growing basketball brands online today. Joe and Nolan from Strictly Bball have turned their passion for hoops into a storytelling powerhouse, working with the NBA, Gatorade, and the Big Ten, all while capturing the soul of the game. Welcome to the show, Joe and Nolan. Woo! Yeah.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. I like how you said capturing the soul of the game. I really
Sir.
like that wording.
That's awesome.
So those are your guys' well-known highlights. Now let's get beyond the spotlight. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. We got a classic day of Strictly Bball activities here, making some videos, and then we're going out to film a workout of one of the best high school players in the state, Ari Peterson, who's actually Adrian Peterson's daughter.
Sure.
She's a freshman, and she can already dunk.
Wow.
So
It's crazy.
How tall is she? Just curious.
She's
like 6 foot.
6 foot. 6
Yeah.
6 foot, she can dunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
super athletic. I mean,
Dang.
those NFL
Adrian
genes, I
Peterson.
guess.
Yeah.
But no, she's
Wow.
she's a phenomenal talent, and yeah, I mean the fact that she can dunk. I mean, if she throws one down in this workout, you already know it's going to be the hook of the video.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nonetheless, we're just excited to film a workout of one of the top players in Minnesota for sure.
Before we get too deep into it, I want to thank our sponsors, Giant Snacks, Detailed Dudes, Brushmark Signs, and All Soccer Meats. Thank you guys for making this possible. We are in Minneapolis right now at Joe's apartment. Thank you for having us in here.
Of course.
So a little bit of a different set today. But yeah, so for people who don't know what Strictly Bball is, can one of you guys give a brief summary of what your page does or what it's all about?
Yeah. So Strictly Bball, we see ourselves as kind of like a mix between like a traditional like social media / like media company, and then also kind of like individual like content creators / like, I don't know, we don't usually use the term, but like in the influencer like space. But we go out to all the best places where basketball is happening and football, and we try to find the most unique stories and tell them in a way that people like to consume it online these days, which is, for us, it's like 1 to 2 minute videos. And yeah, we're kind of just in the business of storytelling, I guess.
So like an overtime, like one of those
Yeah.
types of...
Yep. So Joe hit it pretty spot on, but to your point, it's kind of just like Strictly Bball is the social media outlet. So it's kind of like a slam, a ball is life in overtime. And then me and Joe are the storytellers or content creators behind it.
And you guys hit any type of basketball, whether it's NBA or high school.
All levels. All
Awesome.
levels.
All
All the way
levels.
from the NBA to 7th grade. I mean, not 7th grade, 7-year-olds.
7th grade,
First
yeah.
graders.
Have you done a lot
Basically-
of those, like the younger kid videos or mostly?
Yeah, the funniest like events that we go to are like the middle school basketball camps, but there's one called the T3 TV camp, and they have grade levels all the way down to, I think it's first grade.
Yeah, it's first grade.
Is that like
so 6, 7
AAU
years
ball,
old.
basically? Or
It's
what
like a
is-
camp.
It's like a showcase camp. So
Okay, got you.
basically the parents will, go through the, just process of getting their kid involved in the camp, signing them up. And then they basically just show up, get a jersey, and then they're placed on a team where it's like showcase style, where they're just on a team and they just play other teams.
So how do you guys even find if like someone's super good at that young of
It's,
age?
I don't even know. Like the kids that go to this camp are usually like their parents are super invested in like having their kids playing early on, and the kids are usually like pretty talented for their age. So there was probably like 50 first graders at this thing, and a
Yeah.
couple of them were like hitting 3-pointers. So,
Dang.
but I made a video that was the first line of the video was I spent a whole day watching class of 2036 hoopers, and it
a
just
great hook.
absolutely blew up. So it's not the best basketball to watch, but like you asked, do we follow every level of
Yeah.
basketball? That we truly do.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's just so entertaining too, because I have my own opinion on it, but some of the parents are just so overly invested in it.
Yeah.
And it's like I tell Joe all the time, it's like this kid he hasn't even had his first thought yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was that age, like the only thing I could think about was waking up and watching SpongeBob in the morning.
Right.
Like literally it's 9 a.m. and I'm not exaggerating. It's 9 a.m. The dad is the coach. He forced his kid to get up. Not to mention he's probably not from Indiana, so he probably forced his kid to get up, travel to Indiana, play in this camp. Gets about 9 in the morning when the kid just wants to sleep in, and during the game, like he's out of it. He's not focused. He's not playing well. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's obviously not going to be doing that. And then he's yelling at him, no joke, cussing him out, freaking out,
Oh
and
my
like I
gosh.
witnessed this, and I'm like, to me, it's like how like that's just crazy parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just one small example. Some of the kids are like super talented. Some names that come to mind of those younger kids is Stephen A. Smith, the number 1 ranked player.
The
in
number 1
2036.
ranked player.
So
There's
he's
no
a great
chance.
talent. And another one is Kobe Big Smooth Morgan.
Wow.
Kobe Big Smooth.
Is that his middle name? Or her?
That's
That's
what he
his
goes
nickname.
by. That's what he goes by. Kobe Big Smooth.
Got you. I was
Yep.
gonna no, now I feel dumb.
No, honestly,
No,
you
that
shouldn't
makes sense.
because I can see a kid having
I mean,
a
we
real name of
we
Big
literally
Smooth.
just said there's a man named Stephen A. Smith, but
That's
We've
crazy.
seen everything.
You know, I think you guys are missing one avenue of basketball, and that's the old man's league. You got to go down to some rec league
you're
that just
right.
has
Yeah,
good
dude,
idea.
I
like a
feel
bunch
like-
of nobodies. That's not like a pro-am or something.
I'm not gonna lie, like I think that's a good idea. Like if we were to find, like hypothetically, we go to an old men's league, we find a 70-year-old that's just shooting the lights out,
Yeah.
Doesn't miss.
talking smack constantly. That would be a great video.
That would be great.
So you're definitely right. That's like the one age group that we just haven't covered whatsoever.
The closest we got was I was doing a video on Con Knipple, who plays at Duke or played at Duke. He's going into the draft. I wanted to do a video on all his brothers because he has 4 younger brothers.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
I drove out to Milwaukee area and filmed his 7th and 8th grade brothers in one of their middle school games, and then his 8th and 9th grade brothers, 9th and 10th grade, which is crazy that they had 5
In that quick of a
boys
span.
in like 6 years. But I recorded all of them, and the mom was super nice helping me set up all of this. And then she was like, my husband actually plays a men's league game if you want to film that. And I really wanted to, but it was at the same time as the middle school game. But
Sure.
I wanted to, but she ended up sending clips of the dad playing in his men's league game, and he was just cooking. So it made for a good video.
and in that league specifically too, I think I saw something online. It may have been Bleacher Report when they were just at the March Madness tournament talking to the athletes. I think in that same league, Khan dropped 80-something points.
Yeah.
So
Someone had 80 points in a
well,
game.
Khan, I mean, he was the Duke
Duke player.
future
sure.
NBA lottery pick.
He
but
played in
too
his
bad,
dad's men's
crazy.
league game.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny. So how did Strictly B-Ball originally start? And who came up with the idea?
I would say we both came up with the idea. It kind of happened organically. So the first time where I can pinpoint it kind of just originating was back in like 2013 when Vine was a big thing. So we were both super passionate about social media. From Vine, we just came across the app, started making content. We really enjoyed it. And then
And how
from that,
old were you at that time?
13.
Okay.
Yeah, 13, 12, 14. I'm a half year older than him, so
Exactly
in that
a
age
half
range.
year.
Exactly
That's
a half
crazy.
year.
Yeah.
His half birthday's on my birthday and vice versa, which is kind of
And how did you guys become friends? And
we grew up in the same neighborhood, so it kind of was just through our parents being friends. They kind of just we were the same age, we're in the same neighborhood, so just kind of were raised together, and then we went to the same preschool, and then through our childhood, we just had a lot of friends in the neighborhood, so we had like a neighborhood group. Yeah, that's kind of just how our friendship came about.
So then you started Strictly B-Ball, and that was at what time did you actually get like the handle and like you started consistently posting?
The handle was junior year of high school.
Okay.
And that was just as simple as what's available, honestly. Like, the first time Strictly Bball, the name came about, was on Instagram. So in high school, TikTok wasn't around. YouTube was really hard to get going on. It's just besides shorts, like that's when shorts weren't a thing. Like long form content, it was impossible to grow unless you did your own outreach or, you know, trying to just marketing in your own regard. So I just resorted to Instagram starting out, and, you know, with that, you want to have like a good handle or a good name that people can gravitate to. And honestly, it was like 2 days of just trying to find like a really good name. I was like thinking of it. Like one of them was like Sports Eternity. Another one, like there's some really bad names, and then I came across
really interesting.
and then it was like
names.
Strictly Bball, and it kind of had a nice ring to it. It kind of encompassed like what I wanted to do with the page and with the brand. So I kind of just went through with it, and then over time, you know, we kind of transitioned from from Instagram to TikTok, and then from that we kind of just started posting on all platforms. So that's kind of just the origin of it.
Yeah, and Noel mentioned, I'll say one more thing about that. Like Noel mentioned Vine. I think what is interesting about what a lot of people don't realize about like what we do, and I think a common theme with a lot of people who have eventually found success on social media, like if you include Vine, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, like we've probably made over 50 different accounts. Like,
Wow.
like
I would say 100, honestly.
Yeah, like we
like literally on Vine too. Sorry to interrupt. We would do stuff like we made a whole page dedicated to slam ball. We made a whole page dedicated to stunts.
yeah.
We've done like, what did Caleb do? Like cats or something?
Yeah, he did like funny cats or something. Well, he
Yeah.
was like
Didn't
11
Caleb-
years old.
Yeah.
Dude, I
There-
can
there's just-
relate a lot to you guys. I have like 5 different accounts where I like went off on different tangents
Yes,
too.
yes,
Like,
yes,
yes.
A couple other ones that are really funny. Just on Vine, like we were in middle school, and one of the ones that we actually found the most success with was Guinness World Records. We
Sure,
literally
yeah.
called ourselves Guinness World Records, used their logo, and would post their clips with like different audio. And I don't think they had a Vine account, so people just assumed we were the official Guinness World
Oh my
Records.
gosh.
We had like 100,000 followers.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And
And
then-
it grew so fast. Like
Yeah.
literally we were gaining like 5,000 followers a day. No
oh
exaggeration.
my god.
So you guys have
Because
been doing this
people-
for a long time.
Yes. Because people, like Joe said, people literally thought we were the Guinness World Records page. And then we just ran out of ideas and we're like, ah, shit.
But I didn't
that's us.
realize, I didn't realize that at the time.
No, we didn't realize that at the time. Like I didn't. Yeah, we were probably like 15, so we were just thinking of ideas. But looking back on it, it's so easy to tell why it was so successful.
Sure.
But yeah.
How long did it take for that blow up to originally happen? And then what did people around you think? Your friends, your family, your classmates, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question. So starting out I'll kind of skip ahead to how things went on TikTok. Like
Okay.
after Nolan had the account on Instagram, Strictly Bball, and then we wanted to take it over to TikTok. We started making just like ranking and like grading videos. So the first one that really blew up for us was grading every number 1 pick since 2000.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
NBA draft picks. And I would say from when that video was posted, it took us like, it was like in 1 week, we were at like 10,000 followers.
In 1
I think that was
week?
overnight. I think it was like
Actually,
one
yeah,
night.
I think it was from one video.
Wow.
And the reason for it, or I don't know if you were gonna say
Well,
it.
I was going to say, I think maybe like a little over a week, we were at 30,000
Oh, okay.
followers.
But yeah, the
Wow.
big reason why people followed is we made it a part series. And at that time, one, there wasn't a lot of basketball content out there, but 2, people saw the grading every number 1 overall pick, and it's like follow for part 2. And we
Yeah.
did
And it
5
was like,
parts.
yeah, 4 or 5 parts.
We did 4 or 5 parts, but at that time, it just people were just kind of just like really searching for that basketball content, which is what, yeah. came
And
about
it
with the
was
video.
during COVID. So it was right. We started it in February of 2020.
So right when like
a month
everything
Really
started
good timing.
closing down.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
And I remember, so my sister was a senior in college, and she was moving to Phoenix after she was going to graduate. So she was out in Phoenix, like right when COVID hit, and that's right when we were starting to blow up. And she had no idea that we were making videos on TikTok. And I remember picking her up from the airport, and we are at like 30,000 followers. And she was like, did this happen like overnight? Like, cause when she left for Phoenix, we were at like nothing.
Huh.
So it was just like, I think our family and friends were like, they thought it was cool, but it didn't start to get like more serious until probably like a year later.
So you said 2020. Were you, let's see here, was that your freshman year of college or?
Freshman year of college, yeah.
So did you have a lot of classmates or did you have a lot of people that you knew that maybe came up to you and said, oh, this is cool or whatever? Or did you get recognized on campus? I know you didn't go to like the same college, but.
I would say like in my sophomore year, it happened a little bit. Like people just saying like, oh, I've been seeing what you've been doing like on TikTok. Especially back then, like we didn't have as many followers, but our face was in all the videos for the most part. So
sure.
It was a little bit easier to kind of recognize the face from that. But yeah, I think it happened a little bit.
Okay, so toward the beginning, what kind of roles did you guys have in the business itself?
I would say how it's always been with Nolan and I is we're kind of just like the same person twice.
Sure.
When it comes to our roles. We kind of both do everything. So we both come up with ideas, we both record, we both edit, and we both kind of make decisions on the business side together.
Okay.
So we're not really specialists in any way.
Do you film together though, or do you guys film separately?
So nowadays we record separately. So we usually some people can't really tell the difference, but if you hear my voice in a video, I'm usually the one who wrote it, recorded it, and edited it. And then the same with Nolan is if it's him, he's probably the one who took it from start to finish by himself.
Yeah, you guys do have like similar voices.
Yeah,
It's that TikTok accent.
Yeah, sure. If you really like listen to it, you have to kind of listen closely to tell sometimes if you don't know you
That's
guys.
a good thing though. You two
Yeah.
have like the same, like if you were to play one of each of yours, I don't know how easy it would be to tell, but that's so good because you guys know what you
Pump out more
want in a
content
video.
and-
yeah.
yeah.
And then you're able to do twice the amount of work. One could be in one state and one could be in the other
Exactly. Yeah, we split up a lot now that we're probably traveling 2 to 3 times a month now. Sometimes
That's
it's
awesome.
every weekend, which it is awesome. And sometimes can get a little bit tiring.
Yeah.
But it is it's a blessing for sure. But yeah, it's nice to be able to split up and always have like not only the same voice but the exact same editing style, and we've kind of just created that kind of formula that we use.
I think we're very lucky in that regard, where it's like Joe said, we're kind of just a copy and paste with each other when it comes to like what we bring to Strictly Bball. It's kind of just like the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But it's what Strictly Bball needs, but it's just like ×2. So it's like ×2 the amount of what one person could do, which is super nice. And when we're dividing and conquering, where like let's say Joe is covering the Big Ten tournament in Indiana, and then I'm at OTE covering OTE finals, like we have back and forth conversations about like what is happening, because I mean we have both a business and personal relationship.
Sure.
But like I'm never like, obviously I'm there to like help, and like if he needs a video to be edited or I need a video to be edited, like we'll talk in that regard. But I mean there's never a stress from each other's end of just like what needs to be done. Like if Joe's
That's
somewhere
awesome.
and I'm somewhere, it's like, okay, we know it's going to get done, and there's never a question in the back of my mind if like he's doing it or he's not capitalizing on the event as much as possible.
When it comes to quality meats, trust the experts at All Sauger Meats. Family owned and operated with locations in Ottoman, Fargo, and now open in Breckenridge.
From hand-cut steaks to in-house made sausage, fresh seafood to smoked bacon, they have everything you need to elevate your meals.
They're open 7 days a week in Breckenridge, so stop in whenever you need. Plus, check out our meat bundle packages and our bulk beef orders for unbeaten value.
Visit allsaugermeats.com or stop into your local All Sauger store and experience the difference in every bite.
All Sauger Meats, your trusted source for quality and freshness. Thank you, All Sauger Meats. Brushmark Signs is a family-owned and operated business out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
They are a one-stop shop for visual marketing.
Their designers can create logos, banners, indoor and outdoor signs,
Digital message boards, decals, and apparel.
as well as promotional items, window tinting, and more, and they ship nationwide. So if you're interested,
Give them a call at
218-847-3599.
or visit brushmarksigns.com.
Seriously, you guys, Brushmarks hooked it up. They came and installed these signs today, so super thankful for Brushmarks. You guys got to check them out if you have any sign needs. Now let's get back to the podcast. So you guys never really have conflict, it doesn't seem like? Or have
Honestly,
you?
I don't think we've had a single
Really? You guys
disagreement.
don't
I'm
disagree
serious.
on like what to do with the business or
I
anything
don't
like
think
that?
so.
No, I mean, we will have like disagreements at times, but we kind of usually just talk it out, and we usually end up coming to the same conclusion,
Sure.
which I think is pretty rare. But maybe it's because we've just always
Been friends?
we've had the same upbringing. I mean, we have the similar personalities. I don't know. Maybe we should have more disagreements.
Yeah. I will say when it comes to like NBA takes, there's definitely disagreements,
sure,
but when
sure.
it comes to kind of just maybe like business related stuff or creative ideas, I think we both trust each other's judgment so much
Sure.
where it's just like we have a lot of open conversations, and I think we just have really good communication, but there has never been like a crazy disagreement, which I mean, we're very thankful for. I think it's
Yeah.
just us being raised
Well, that's
together.
a very rare partnership.
I know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say too, it definitely depends, but a lot of people say like just don't go into business with like your like really close friend or your best friend, because you know that relationship can be tarnished, because if you don't see eye to eye from a business standpoint, it can completely ruin the relationship. But I would say in our case, it's actually strengthened our relationship, which is pretty
awesome.
crazy. Yeah.
So in the beginning, or toward the beginning, you guys weren't full time. You obviously were college students, but at what point did you guys switch to full time, and was it at the same time for you both?
Yeah. So the summer going into our last year of college, we had to decide if we wanted to go get like an internship, or like work for a company that could potentially be what we do after college. And we really were close to taking an internship with another sports media company that would have been like pretty cool. Like we would have had an opportunity to potentially find a cool job after college, but you know, we got some good advice from some other people that really gave us the confidence to just say, we're going to do this full time, strictly Bball this summer. And we had really no opportunities to make money right away, or a significant amount of money right away. So we kind of had to tell our parents, like, you know, we're not really gonna be making money. Like, we want to do this full time. And I would say that was probably one of the best decisions that we ever made, because if we would have been working for somebody else that summer, I don't think we would be able to be in the position we are now, where we do this full time. So that summer went really well, and we traveled, and we made a lot of really popular videos. And then we did our last year of college, which was tough because we kind of already knew that after college we were going to be really what we wanted to be spending our time on was this and not college. But we finished it out. Luckily, we were both on track to graduate the same year. And then after that, we took it full time, and we had enough ways to make money that we could do it.
So how did you make money? What is that from teams? Is that from sponsorships, partners?
Yeah, so the way we make money is through a few different ways. One is just from the social media platform itself. TikTok, YouTube will pay you just per view. Then the second piece is like branded videos, where we work with different brands. Like an example is we work with TickPick, ticketing company.
Oh, yeah.
So like they'll pay us to go out to games and make recaps and like kind of shout them out along the way and say this is made possible by them. And then the third piece is we work with a lot of leagues. So we work with the NBA. We work with Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 women's basketball league that just started this year. And we work with Overtime Elite, and we work with the Big Ten. So it's just kind of
awesome.
those leagues. Obviously, they have big name recognition. I guess they're a little bit different, but they always want more conversation about their league online, and they know that we can provide them with views and interesting storylines and angles and stuff.
So when you're traveling, like you said, a few times a month, is it always for one of those leagues?
No, it's a mix. It's sometimes it's for a partner we're working with, and sometimes it's just like something that we think would be worth going and
Like a
paying
good
for
athlete
ourselves.
or something
Yeah, for sure.
that you want to go film with.
Or like an AAU tournament or something like that.
So how do you, like, do the brands usually cover the costs of that? Just because I'm curious, and you can share whatever you want or don't want to, but Do brands typically cover travel for those kinds of things?
Yeah. So if it's like those leagues or, I mean, it is a case by case basis, but
Sure.
for the most part, if it's like an event that we're kind of going for someone else, they would pay for travel.
Awesome. So who are those bigger athletes in the beginning that really kicked off your guys' kind of career?
I mean, the first one's got to be Chet Holmgren. I think it was Joe's idea where he was just like, Chet Holmgren's in our backyard, #1 ranked player in the country. He's playing at Minnehaha tonight. Why don't we just go out there, record his game, and make a video from it? So he kind of was just a pivotal moment with the Strictly Bball content. Kind of after that, it became very clear to us that that type of content performed really well and people gravitated towards that style. So we just continued to push it out as much as possible. There's that and other ones in the earlier stages. I mean, Jared McCain was definitely one too. I think that was just kind of like our first like really, really big name. I think he was at 1 million followers at the time. We went to an event in South Dakota, covered him, which was super crazy. And what you see on camera, like what you see the media putting out there and what you see in his YouTube videos, that's exactly who he is as a person.
Sure.
He's super genuine. He's super authentic. One of the kindest people I've ever met on the planet, which like, it's crazy. Cause like when he was in high school, he had the biggest following out of everyone. And he was like the nicest out of everyone. Like there was a whole bunch of other athletes that were a little bit more standoffish or against the media side of things. But yeah, nothing but good things to say about Jared and his character. He's like a really great dude. And then another one is in the earlier stages is an event that happened in Minnesota. It was called the MN Shorty Classic.
This one's crazy.
And yeah, this one's really crazy.
Let's hear about it.
So this was kind of just like the first local event that we went to, right?
Like the first, other than just like regular high school basketball games.
Yes.
It was like an event.
So this was like the first event. Other ones were like a Chet Holmgren game, a Totino Grace game that had like Chapman and Demarion, where it's just like Iowa State and Ohio State commits like playing that type of stuff. Like this was an actual event called the MN Shorty Classic, took place at Target Center. And the one school, the Minnesota team, was MN Prep Academy. And they were playing against some teams. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't have too much understanding of what high school basketball was all about.
Can I ask a quick question too?
Yeah.
Prep schools are like schools that are like for sports specifically, right?
For the most part, that's what they are. I think like it kind of originated with like IMG.
Okay.
It's like you go there, they have all these resources for sports, then you also do school. A lot of them are different. Like some of them are like the school is like really intense and real. Some of them like it's more like homeschool, like vibe, online classes. They're all kind of different.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean
No, you're
to
good.
cut
No,
you
that's a
off. I
good
was just
question.
curious.
But the MN Shorty Classic and the two like highlight games that were happening one of them featured Vertical Academy that had Mikey Williams. He was the guy he was just one of the biggest names in high school basketball at the time. And then Donda Academy. This was Kanye West's prep school. Yeah, this was Kanye West prep school that featured a lot of huge names. Ja'Kai Howard of Auburn. Well, he transferred out, but Ja'Kai Howard, Rob Dillingham,
Oh yeah.
JJ Taylor. There's so many big names on his team. But so going into that game with Vertical Academy, I didn't know anything about high school basketball. I just knew Mikey Williams, and he wasn't playing. He had like an injured wrist or an injured hand, which was super frustrating. I'm like what's even gonna happen out of this? Like, this is so dumb. Like, the first event we go to is gonna be ruined. Like, it's just such a pessimistic mindset. But in warm-ups, Trey Parker starts dunking, and I could not believe what I was watching. Like, it's one thing to see it online, but then when you see it in person, it's totally different. Like, he's 6 feet tall,
Maybe 155 pounds.
155 pounds.
Wow.
Like maybe that's an exaggeration, but he was like a skinny.
No,
was
I
really
think he was.
small at
I
the
think
time.
I don't even think that's exaggeration at all. He was super skinny, 6 feet tall. He was a sophomore or junior in high school, and he was just from the jump, just jumping out of the gym like crazy. Like, he was doing windmills, he was doing E-Space, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, this blows my mind. Like, this is high school basketball. I just because my understanding of high school basketball was Irondale basketball, and no disrespect to my high school alma mater, but it was nowhere near this, and I literally couldn't believe what was happening. Lo and behold, there was a viral moment that came out of it where Trey dunked, and then he got a steal, hit a three. Malik Beasley was at that game. Anthony Edwards was at that game. He walked on the court at halftime, which is crazy. I think he was a rookie or sophomore at the time, which blew me away. And then, yeah, with Donda Academy, just seeing all the crazy names that I mentioned with Ja'Kai Howard, Rob Dillingham, and others. But Kanye West was actually in attendance.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Was unbelievable. I don't know what he was doing in Minnesota. I mean,
What is his
I know what he was doing in
involvement
Minnesota
anyway with the team? Like, does he
just
actually
probably
do-
sponsored it, but I mean,
Okay.
it's not a thing anymore. Kind of just with how everything played out with him.
for obvious reasons.
yeah.
But at the time, I think it was actually their first. I think it was Donda Academy's like first event they were playing in.
It was their debut.
Yeah, so he wanted to like be there, I guess, and his involvement was actually pretty close to
Sure.
the team. And like I remember the conversation with Nolan where it was like the night before, and we were like, "What are the odds Kanye actually comes?" Because we just had heard, it was one of those things where you just hear people saying like Kanye's coming. Did you hear? And that stuff happens all the time, and it doesn't end up
Sure.
happening. But I was like 2%, 5% chance that he comes. And then during the national anthem, he like kind of, when the lights were off, like he kind of sneaks in so he doesn't get a ton of attention. And then he was sitting there like right courtside. And we got a video on our phone where we were just kind of like 10 feet. I was like 10 feet away from him.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And obviously,
And those videos did well?
yeah, they blew up.
Wow.
I mean, we started a video saying like, why did Kanye West like pull up to a high school game in
It's a
Minnesota?
good. It's a good hook.
Yeah,
it's a good hook.
It's pretty like, it's crazy. That was the first event we really ever did because I like can't see something like that happening again. So
No shot.
especially here in Minnesota.
Who's your guys' favorite high school players to film all time?
Ooh,
Daniel Freitag.
That's Daniel Freitag is a good one from Minnesota. But
Shout out to you, Dan.
yeah, Chet got to be mentioned first right away, just for the reasons Nolan said.
Have you guys got to speak with him at all or no?
Yeah, we have a few times. Actually got to talk to him most recently at the Rising Stars game. A year ago when he was in it. But other than that, I would say
Bronny James.
Bronny. Yeah, I would say Bronny.
Jared McCain too.
and Jared. Yeah, Rob Dillingham.
Yep.
He's on the Wolves now, right? Isn't
Yeah.
he killing it? Yeah, I'm a Thunder fan, so I went to that game earlier this year, and when we lost in Minnesota,
Oh yeah,
the Thunder lost in Minnesota, and it was fun to watch him. He's just like younger than me out
Yeah.
there playing against grown men. It's just mind blowing that
It
those
is.
guys are playing at that level at such a young age.
It is crazy. Like Ant being like, I think about it too, and it's like Ant and just like what he's doing, what he's done in the playoffs, and like what he's just doing in the NBA. And it's like he's older than. I mean, I'm older than him, and I'm like, oh, man, maybe I am getting old. I don't know. But
Oh,
it's all about perspective. But
We saw you guys work with the NBA. What was your involvement like with the Wolves and other teams like that?
So our involvement with the NBA, it's sort of evolved over time, but we do a lot of stuff with them, with teams specifically. We've been lucky enough to be involved in Wolves Media Day, which that whole process was we had a point of contact at the NBA. They reached out to us, wanted to see if we're available for said day, and then we were just a part of one of the stations when it came to Wolves Media Day. And that all was just kind of just like interview related stuff. We had them answer questions about the in-season tournament. So that was crazy. I mean, we've been lucky enough to talk with Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns,
Wow.
Rudy Gobert, like all the main players. And that was just a phenomenal experience that, we'll forever be grateful for. I just remember years ago, like we would just reach out to the Timberwolves specifically, kind of just asking them, can we make content for your guys' page, like for free? And like we did videos on some of the players like Jaden McDaniels, Jared Vanderbilt at the time. And like the Timberwolves have just always been our team. And that was just like a super surreal experience. And then the other stuff we do with the NBA, we cover specific events and stuff that they do. So like draft day, we've been a part of NBA draft day for a few years. We love doing NBA summer league because it's just kind of just the up and coming talent in the league. That's a whole lot of fun. And we also covered the in-season tournament as well. So it's a whole lot of things, but we're super grateful for it. And, to work with a league at their stature is just,
What's
it's
really
just
cool too
mind-blowing.
is working with a league like the NBA. It seems at least like it's pretty consistent, because every year there's a season.
Yeah.
And then if you guys do well and show that your work is doing
Yeah.
well, you're gonna have work.
Yeah, that's nice. That's the nice thing about it, and that's what we look for. Is like anyone we work with is something that can be like kind of year over
Long-term,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
To your point too, like that applies to just all storylines and content. Like, you know, kids are coming through the ranks, like let's say high school basketball, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you know, kids are, you know, going through their careers and they're gone. So like the Boozer twins, AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, like the top ranked guys, like we covered them and now they're gone. It's like, oh, that sucks. But, you know, there's a new up and coming talent,
Right.
and there's going to continue to be that for the rest of time. And a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
creates
times
the
too,
content for us.
yeah,
really.
it creates the content for us, and the same events are like reoccurring too. So like the MSH TV camp, which is super good from a content perspective and super fun to cover. It happens every single year. All these camps are just like reoccurring, and it just makes content a whole lot easier because it's like, okay, we're for sure just going to continue going to those.
Especially with the kids now that are like, they're all about it. They're all about social media. And,
Yeah.
and so it kind of makes your job a little bit easier anyway.
Definitely.
What are some things that people don't see, like the behind the scenes of Strictly B-Ball?
Behind the scenes, I mean,
The traveling.
yeah, the traveling.
You guys don't share that very much. Like I haven't seen any
Yeah.
like on a plane or anything like that.
That's a good point. Maybe we should try that. Maybe we should try some behind the scenes content. But yeah, the traveling is a lot. And then-
Editing.
yeah, the editing, and then just like the business side of things, like just the conversations we have with people we're trying to partner with, and that kind of stuff happens all the time. And then just like the times we sit down and strategize about what we want to do. Like, I would say one of the best nights of Strictly B-Ball ever was last August when we hosted our first event at Mall of America.
Yeah, there's a whole basketball court inside of a mall, bro.
and I'll tell you
insane.
what, a ton of people came to the event, and it was awesome. Like,
Huge thank you to today's sponsor, Giant Snacks. Giants is a small family-owned business that specializes in premium flavor and giant snack sizes.
From sunflower seeds and pistachios, pumpkin seeds and cashews, Giants has all the great snacks you need.
Don't forget some of the great flavors that they offer, from dill pickle to sweet Thai chili.
Or whatever flavor you're craving.
Check out the newest flavor that just arrived in stores.
Big Easy cashews and Big Easy sunflower seeds.
Available now online or in a store near you. Huge thank you to Giant Snacks for sponsoring this podcast.
Now let's get back to the podcast. Looking for a top-tier clean without the hassle? Detailed Dudes has you covered.
Based in the Lakes area, they bring professional mobile detailing right to your driveway from spring to fall. Their fully equipped detailing van has everything that you need to make your vehicle look brand new inside and out. Need something extra? Visit their shop today for paint correction, ceramic wax, or deep upholstery cleaning with a heated extractor.
In 2024, they were voted Best Detailing Company in Detroit Lakes, a testament to their top quality service and customer satisfaction.
Call 218-849-0146 to book a detail and experience the Detail Dudes difference.
Thank you, Detail Dudes.
there was probably 1,000 people watching at one time. And it was great, but people don't realize, obviously, that if you're talking about what they don't see, like, that event was a headache to put on.
Sure.
I'm sure.
It was, I mean, bringing the court in for a guy brought the court from like down south, like in a big truck. I mean, getting all those players to actually come was really difficult.
And commit to it. And
Yes, dude.
Backing out like the last night, like I remember having a conversation with a player and his mom, no joke, at midnight, trying to convince this mom to let her son come to the event and play. And lo and behold, he had a great time, and we paid for travel and accommodated him in the best way possible. But yeah, it's just like, you just think about it. It's like 2 nights before the event is happening, like we have players backing out, and I think that was the hardest part with that event, is just kind of just those conversations we had in securing players, because it was our first time hosting an event, and that all that back end work was very stressful.
Yeah.
And it was a lot, but the event was super successful. The product that we put out there for people to watch, which we wanted to give to the Minnesota basketball community in the best way possible. I think we did the best job that we thought we could. But
was it a high school game? Or?
Yeah, it was high school. So we posed it as kind of just like a national 3v3 event. So there were 6 different teams, and each team was a state represented. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
I bet that felt pretty good though once it was happening.
Yeah,
you
it
guys
was
were like,
awesome.
we hosted this.
But I will say, when it was happening, Noah Newman, He was
Oh,
on
yeah.
Team Texas, so he kind of was just. I mean, he's just such a big name and personality. Where we said like you can kind of just have whatever high school players you want with you. So he had a team, and there were some players backing out. So it was Noah Newman, another guy, and then another guy that backed out. So we filled in with a local Minnesota kid named Brady Woolley. So they only had 3 guys, and then we had one permanent sub that was just there in case of just like an injury, and he could just fill in. And Noah went down with an injury, and we had to bring him back into the tent, and he was injured. He didn't know if he could play right away. And obviously, you know, we don't want to, for the safety of players, we're not going to force a player to do anything. If they're injured, obviously they're not going to play. Like
Right.
that was the main focus, is just the safety of the players. We don't want any injuries to happen. So that sucked. So our sub that was going to fill in for every team, he told us, he was like, yeah, he's like, it's too late. Like I need to go. I have this family gathering thing, and like I need to leave. And I was like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. We just need you to be here. Like I'll do literally whatever. Like I just
That's
need you to be here and
insane.
need you to fill in if possible. And we ended up giving him a pair of shoes of his choice, and he was super grateful for that. But just that type of stuff is what people don't see. Is just like, I mean, we could have easily been at a point where it's like we don't have a player to fill in.
Right.
I mean, maybe
You
I
would
would
have
have
had to
checked
fill
in. I
in.
probably would have. Honestly, that probably is what would have happened.
I mean, yeah, or somebody from another team. I don't know.
I don't know if we could even do that, but we would have figured it out. But yeah.
What is your guys' relationship like with the Newman brothers? Like you guys have filmed quite a few videos of them or
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, we're pretty close with them, honestly. Like especially Noah, because he was at our event and really helped make that first event really popular, and we really grateful for that. But we've made videos on all the 3 brothers individually, like really early on when they were starting to blow up, and all really nice kids. We know the parents too, and they got all the right goals and right intentions in mind when it comes to content and just everything they do.
That's awesome. So what's next for Strictly Bball? What do you guys have in the works?
We got a couple things. One, like we talked about the event. We're working on a year 2 of the event.
Awesome.
It's going to
when
be a
do you
little
have that
different, but
planned?
it's going to be in August.
August. Okay.
Yeah, so don't have all the details yet, but definitely keep an eye out for that. And then other than that, like, I mean, the big thing we've done over the past few years, like we've talked about basketball mostly here, but really growing the football side of things has been big. So another one of our buddies from high school named Leighton came on full time with us and started running our football page full time. And the goal was to bring that basketball formula and bring it to football. And I would say like growing that is big for us, and then eventually having a football event too.
Yeah.
Will be in the future.
I mean, these are
Yeah.
huge pages. I think you guys have 2.7 million on TikTok, over 500K on Instagram. Even that new football page has almost 300K followers. Like
Yeah.
that's not an easy task to do. So congrats to you guys for all the success you've had in the
Appreciate
last
it.
few years.
You guys
Thank
have a
you.
very good hook, I notice. I always
time.
every time like it'll pop up on my For You or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, I recognize the voice, and then
Yeah.
it's the hook that just gets you in, you know?
Yeah.
That's the most important part for any content creator. Honestly, I think for short form especially is just like it's like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Like you got to
Yeah.
grab the attention.
I mean, you just got to
Yeah.
put your eyes in the. I mean, you just
the
got to
person's-
you just got to put your perspective in the eyes of who's consuming the content. And even myself, it's just like I catch myself scrolling on TikTok, and like sometimes you don't even have like 2 seconds. Sometimes it's 1 second. So I mean, you have to be super instantaneous with the hook and grab their attention right away. And that's the most important part, is grabbing their attention. But then with the pacing of the video is keep them watching the video for the entirety of it, because that's going to help the algorithm. To my understanding, with TikTok, it's just watch time. So
who's your guys' dream athletes to film with or film just while they're playing?
That's a good question.
yours are probably Giannis, right?
Yeah, I think doing something with Giannis would be really, really cool.
He's got a good personality for
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
for the
that's
part
video
of it.
too, I think.
And then, I mean, we've met him and interviewed him, but I think just doing more with Anthony Edwards. Met and interviewed Anthony Edwards, not Giannis.
Yeah, yeah.
But doing more with Ant, I think just from just the hometown, just being diehard Timberwolves fans, I think that would be a big one.
I think Rob Dillingham would be cool too. We've interviewed him and covered him, but kind of doing more in-depth stuff with him would be really cool. Also up and coming guys like, Derek Queen. I love Derek Queen. He's got a really funny personality that I don't think gets showcased enough. So I think he would be a really fun person to do more content with. We've interviewed him before, but kind of just taking it to another level. And then I think Cooper Flagg would be really cool.
Yeah.
We've just covered him for so many years. Huge fans of Cooper's. I'll say it. I think this word gets thrown around so much, but I think he's a generational talent. I think he's a future. I won't get too ahead of myself. He's going to be a phenomenal
future Hall
player.
of Famer. There we go.
Multiple time All-Star, multiple time All-NBA player. Cooper Flagg is a phenomenal talent, and we've covered him for so long where I think it would just make doing content with him more than just like interviews or covering him would be really cool to do.
Future Hall of Famer.
Oh, you're calling it right
Yeah.
now?
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. From what he did at Duke as an 18-year-old, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I'll expose Nolan real quick. A year ago, he said he would take Cooper Flagg over Victor Wembanyama long term. So
Oh boy.
Call
We'll have to
me
see what
crazy.
happens.
I definitely go against that now. After seeing what Victor has done 2 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I think 20 years from now, looking back on that take, I don't think it'll be that crazy.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. It's all about that. But Coop is going to be amazing.
yeah.
I'm confident in that.
So it happens
With
for
your
sure.
with your football page, have you worked with the NFL yet?
Not directly with the NFL. Definitely would like to do that in the future. When you ask about like what's next.
Sure.
But yeah, with the football page, I think a lot of it has just been about kind of just growing it ourselves, and then we haven't had as many opportunities with different partners on that side, but definitely want to in the future.
Well, your guys' potential is limitless. Like, you've done so much already with these huge brands, so congrats
you.
to you
Yeah, I
guys.
was
Appreciate
gonna
it.
ask. I was like, what's a good future brand for you guys? But you guys already
You made
work
it to
with
the
the
NBA.
NBA, so like, where do you go next? You know, but
Yeah, it's tough. We're just super blessed and thankful to be working with the companies and brands we are now. And we're always open to working with new brands if it's fit and it makes sense. So
Sure.
yeah.
All right, don't look at the computer.
Oh,
now.
my bad.
It's all good. Okay, we got a game for you guys quick.
Sweet.
you can run that, Jack. Okay.
All right, sounds good. So basically, the game is called Who's That Hooper? So I'm gonna give you guys the first round is high school players, second round is college, and then the third is just like a random question.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna work. I just want one of you to answer as quick as possible.
Okay.
We'll just both. Yeah.
You can.
both
It's all
go
right.
as
If
quick
you
as we
say
can.
it and it's a tie, then we'll just give you both the
All
point.
right.
Yeah, we'll just go as quick as we can.
All right. This player scored 92 points in a high school game.
LaMelo.
Yes, LaMelo. You can just blurt it out. I forgot to mention
That's
that.
good.
1-0.
Wait, are these all high school first?
Right now, yep.
Okay, high
All right.
school.
Okay. He was a YouTube sensation in high school.
Julian Newman.
Nope. Known for flashy passes and his mixtape with Hoop Mixtape, and he played at Oklahoma.
Trey
Trae
Young.
Young.
Trey,
That's
yeah.
tied. I think that was tied.
That was you, I think.
Okay.
Might need to watch it, honestly.
This guy was known for a viral dunk where he jumped over a guy in a game, and he went to UNLV.
Oh.
My, Gabe York.
Not Gabe York. It's Derek Jones Jr.
Oh.
I swear I was thinking of that.
Yeah.
He jumped over someone.
Yeah.
I swear I was gonna say Derek Jones Jr.
That's
but
fair. That's
continue.
fair.
All right.
Who else would have dunked over someone?
The next round is college.
Okay.
This is going to be a quick one.
Okay.
This player led Davidson to an elite.
Steph Curry.
Yep, Steph Curry. 2-1. 2-1. All right. This player won most outstanding player in
Anthony
the
Davis.
NCAA
Tyus
tournament
Jones.
in 2016 with Villanova. And
Is
he
that
hit,
Jalen
Brunson?
Brunson?
and he hit
Dante
an,
DiVincenzo.
Mikal
and he hit
Bridges.
an iconic buzzer
Josh
beater.
Hart.
Chris
to win-
Jenkins.
Chris Jenkins.
Wow. He won most
Bang.
outstanding player
Did he really?
Yeah.
on that
Wow.
team. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
okay.
he, that makes sense.
I think.
I mean, he hit the biggest shot in NCAA history.
All right. Who said that one? Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
So it's 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This player scored 30 plus points in every March Madness game in 2023 before going undrafted.
2023.
It's not Caleb Love, is it? 2023.
We can skip that one too. It's Marquise Noel.
Oh,
Oh
Marquise
my
Noel.
gosh, he was supposed to be on our team too.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
That
All right.
is.
Last question with the who is this player? Who was the first ever G League Ignite prospect to be drafted number 2 overall?
Jalen
Scoot
Green.
Henderson.
Jalen Green. Oh, yeah. 3-2. 3-2.
Scoot Henderson was 3 anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the bonus round. It's 3-2 right now. These are nicknames for
Okay.
NBA players. Whoever gets the NBA player correct first
All right.
wins, gets a point.
Yeah.
The Beard.
Harden.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. 3-3. The Stifle Tower.
Rudy Gobert.
Yep. 4-3. Last one, Agent Zero.
Gilbert
Gilbert
Arenas.
Arenas.
Yep. He gets
Wow.
5-3. Dang, you guys are fast.
Yeah,
with
you
it.
guys are quick.
That's fun.
Oh man.
Is that it? Or is there?
That was it.
That's awesome.
5-3. Sorry guys.
Congrats,
I'm sure you
Joe.
guys want to keep going. It's like
Yeah.
it would
what
be
else
fun.
we got?
It would be fun.
So for people who want to have like a similar brand or a similar come up as you guys in social media, what advice would you guys have for them?
question.
I would say so. One thing I would say is the hardest thing is just staying consistent. I think you just gotta, hold yourself accountable to staying consistent. When it comes to content creation, I think Nolan and I have talked about just how many people will start something and then they get 20 views on the first video and then they just quit right away.
Yeah.
And another thing is you got to just try out a bunch of different things. And that has definitely played out in what we've done because we touched on it a little bit in this conversation. But when we went out to film Chet Holmgren, that was really just an idea to try something new. And at that point in time, if we didn't find something new that worked, I think we were probably a couple months away from not continuing.
We were losing
Sure.
followers.
Yeah, like
We
we
were
were
literally
not
losing
getting views.
followers,
We really had just like when we were doing the rankings and gradings, like we had worn out every possible idea that we could think of at the time. And if we just wanted to try something new, and it worked, and then we ran with it. And then along the way, we've tried different things. Like we tried a "Where Are They Now" video, and that worked. And then we ended up making 60 versions of that.
Yeah.
Or like we started getting into the ranking videos again, and we found a couple different things that worked. So I think it's just like staying consistent, trying different things all the time. And my last piece is, I got 2 more. One is when it comes to content creation, everything is about that, just kind of that first 2 sentences of what you're talking about. Like I see a lot of people who are trying out content and they start off their video every single time with like, "Hey, what's up, guys? My name is blah blah blah." Like
nobody cares. Like that's a mean way of
Straight
putting
up.
it, but no, like you're gonna scroll immediately. Like if I,
Yeah.
hey, what's up, guys? Like, hey, what's up,
just
guys?
with
Blah,
our
blah,
type
blah.
of content.
It's like, dude,
there's a
like,
place
we
for
get
that,
it.
I think. But
Maybe.
yeah,
I think with short form for sure.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
sit there and
No,
say
you got to get right to the point.
long
yeah.
form, it's different.
And also
Yeah.
to adding on to Joe's point, where it's like the beginning or the first couple seconds of the video being important, you also want to give the viewer a reason to stick along with the video.
Sure.
That's so important. If you give away the outcome, if you give away kind of just like your approach or why you're making this video immediately, then what's the point of continuing watching the video? Whether for our content specifically, whether it's a score, you're not going to give that away right away. Even in the caption of the video, you got to be really specific with that. Or if it's just like a specific highlight, like we won't show the main highlight until the very end because it gives the viewer a reason to watch all the way through. So that's important, is not only the hook, but also just making sure you kind of just don't give away the video all the way to the end, but also make sure that the pacing's good. I think starting off doing content, like advice, if you were to start off and do content on your own, just be okay not making money from it for quite some time. I think it was like 2-ish years until me and Joe saw our
Well, if you consider Vine,
Oh,
too,
if you
it is
consider
probably
Vine,
like-
it's way different.
like
but
7
like
years, 8
yeah,
years.
with TikTok it was like 2 years. We just didn't see like any money whatsoever, and even then we could have just we took a big financial risk where it's like, are we gonna accept an internship? Are we gonna do that, or are we just gonna put our heads down, make content, knowing that we might not make any money from it?
Sure.
And you
Don't
gotta-
do
you
it
gotta be-
for the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do it for the money. Be okay not making money from social media. Know that a lot of people are kind of getting into content creation, so you need to understand that, you might not make a significant amount of money right away. It takes time. And yeah, I think Joe's point on consistency is very important. You have to keep posting. You have to stay consistent. That's what's going to leave the viewers kind of just resonating better with your content and your own personal brand better. And then just not caring what people think, honestly. That's just so important. And just having confidence in the content you're making and making it as best as possible. But I don't know. When I was in high school even, and I was making the videos on Strictly Bball and they weren't performing, like it's really easy to be okay with the content you're making if it's getting a significant amount of views. Because then people are like, okay, it's working. It makes sense. I'm going to gravitate towards this. But someone who's consistent and consistently not getting views, I feel like a general assumption or reputation of that person is like, oh, why are they doing it? Like it's weird, it's bad content, that type of stuff, and just don't care about that, because we were once at that point, and
Everyone's
once at that point when they first started out.
Yeah.
But you just can't care, man. Like it's if it's something you're really passionate about, just go for it. And if people truly care about you and want to see you succeed in that field, then they're gonna support what you do. And if they don't, then I don't know. Then they're just hating, and it's not someone you want in your circle. So
That's right.
No, that's awesome. Well, we just want to thank you guys. This was awesome. Thanks for letting us come. One thing that the viewers don't know until now is we recorded with
40
them
minutes?
already for 40 minutes, but the audio, I'll take it. I
It's
didn't
all
press
good, bro.
play on the audio, and
all
so. We didn't, but those are things that happen. That's a behind the scenes thing that happens
That's
that
just
people
real.
don't understand. Yeah, it just happens. And so, but thank you guys. A lot of people would not, they'd be upset with that or whatever. So you guys took it very well, and thanks for letting us do this all over again.
Second take was even better.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was good. So
Yep. Thank you for putting a lot of preparation in and asking good questions, because it helps get our story out there and have people learn more about us. So,
Yeah, for
I
sure. We'll
mean,
definitely have
the
to do something.
appreciation is likewise. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do something in the future. When you guys
For
host
sure.
that event, let us know, and we could.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
Definitely pull
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that'd be fire.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the Beyond the Spotlight podcast. Thank you again to our sponsors, Giant Snacks, All Sauger Meats, Detail Dudes, and Brushmark Signs. One thing that we do at the end of our show is give our guests some sunflower seeds.
Let's go.
And if you don't want original, we got sweet Thai chili. You guys can try
I'll
that
try
one
that
too.
for sure. This
Okay,
is perfect for the golf course. I played baseball in the past. Giant seeds are the best seeds on the planet. Bacon Ranch is the best flavor I've ever had, but this is the perfect go-to
Let's go.
snack if you're playing baseball, or if even if you're on the golf course and you need someone to pass the time. It calms the nerves. It's a great snack, and it's amazing.
Hey, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next Monday at 6 p.m. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.